2014 will go down as the warmest year around the globe in recorded history.
2015 was the hottest year since climate records began.
Figures show this July was the single hottest month in recorded history.
Australia sweltered through its hottest spring on record.
Climate change is now affecting every country on every continent.
1.2 million people died because of the pollution put up into the air.
This is a result of climate change. It's only going to get worse. This is a big problem.
Climate change is real. It is already causing major problems. And if we do not act boldly and decisively, a bad situation will become worse.
Sea levels are rising about 3 millimeters a year because seawater expands as temperatures get warmer.
It's already losing a lot of ice, and the rate seems to be accelerating every year. Those losses will change the way the surface of our planet looks. The IPCC expects that by 2100, the average sea level will have risen about 50 centimeters. That's enough to flood some of the world's biggest coastal cities like Shanghai, Lagos, Jakarta, and many, many others.
And if things carry on, millions more of us will have to pack up too.
Heat waves, which are 2 or more extra hot days in a row, will be really common all over the globe, and scientists estimate they will affect something like 40% of the human population. The waves will be even worse in places where there are big swaths of land with little vegetation, too. That's because land warms more easily than water, and because the concrete jungles of urban areas trap heat more than rural areas. So places like northern and southern Africa are going to be extra vulnerable to heat waves, along with most of Europe, the Middle East, and a big swath of the eastern United States.
By 2050, when the population explodes to almost 10 billion people, it's expected that plastic production will triple. The problem with that is that today only a fraction of the plastic that we produce is recycled. The rest ends up in our environment, and it's coating our land and our oceans like a disease.
Whether by recycling, composting, or otherwise limiting its negative effects on the environment, trash is fairly benign as far as pollutants go. The problem starts when garbage isn't handled properly, and the problem isn't just contained to the land. In fact, it's even more of a challenge in the ocean. The world's oceans are home to 5 gigantic garbage patches, mostly comprised of sturdy, buoyant plastic that doesn't biodegrade or sink.
Instead of global warming, these days we talk about global change. And ocean acidification kind of worked its way into the fabric of this change. There's a huge range of harmful consequences, including drops in metabolic rate or drops in immune response to other organisms, such as parasites or bacteria that are in the environment. And we know that drops in pH can cause destruction of coral by triggering chemical reactions that result in an overall drop of the amount of carbonate ions available.
Why should we care about deforestation? Together, forestry and agriculture are responsible for 24% of greenhouse gas emissions, making deforestation a significant contributor to climate change. Deforestation impacts the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere in 2 ways. First, when trees are felled, they release the carbon they are storing into the atmosphere. Second, trees play a critical role in absorbing the greenhouse gases that fuel global warming.
The world is now watching. You will either be lauded by future generations or vilified by them. You are the last best hope of Earth. We ask you to protect it, or we and all living things we cherish are history.